Well, right then folks, lovely day up at the plot. So I'll just show you what I'm going to do today. Got a few of these banana shallots left, about 30. So carrying on with this so-called square yard thing. So I'm not measured it exactly, but it's roughly a square yard or a square metre. They're about 6 inches apart and 4 inches apart each way, so probably about twice as close as I would normally plant them. So I'm going to plant those in there and see how they compare to the ones that are planted out a foot apart and 6 inches away. Because to be honest, I wouldn't mind getting some smaller shallots because usually they get a bit too big, so at least if you get a few smaller ones, you can put them in whole and in casseroles and stuff like that. So we'll get on to show you how easy it is to plant these, and then we'll have a look. So all I do to plant these is, a bit like leeks really, just using a dibber, which is about the same size as the plug like that. And like I said, I'm just going to make a little dibber hole about the same depth as the plug, maybe a little bit shallower than that one, and just plonk them in and jobs are good. Yeah, so like I said, I'm doing these a little bit closer than normal because to be honest, the banana shallots are so enormous generally that I'd like to have some that you can put in whole, so you can eat whole rather than chopping them up, because like I said, they are huge. So couldn't be easier this. Got 30 to go at, probably about a square metre. I've got, oh, how many have I got in my other bed? About 60 in the other bed at normal spacing, so I should have plenty of these left this year. So we'll get on, finish that off, and then we'll go and plant some beans and show you all my astroturf and all that stuff that's been going on. So we'll get on and get some stuff done. So there we go, that's 30 shallots planted in about 18" by 4 foot space, so not even a square yard. So we'll see how they get on. They don't look too closely planted to be honest, but it'll be interesting to see how they compare with the ones outside. So we'll get on and get some of these French beans planted, and then I'll give you a look at stuff. Alright then folks, as we walked at Polytunnel, I'll just show you astroturf land as it is. Right, anyway, pond's looking good now, all plants are coming up again. I've started planting a few pots, plants in pots, as you can see. I've got some hostas and stuff. And this is my new flower bed, which has got a load of annuals in planted. And I've also planted a load of perennials, a load of hardy perennials. So I've got some rudbeckia there, some acacia, giant globe thistles, some perennial, God, what they call poppies, things like that, all sorts of stuff. So that should look good when it all comes out. But this is the old astroturf, and I've also bought myself a bench. Look, good old heavy duty one. Can't believe how cheap it was. It was only 120 quid. It was supposed to be a seconds, but there's not a thing wrong with it. So good old heavy duty tackle as well. None of this flimsy stuff. So I'm really pleased with that. So yeah, you might not like the old astroturf, but it doesn't have cover stuff up, and it doesn't look too bad if you think. Look. Anyway, everything's growing this well in my fruit bed this year. These rhubarb's best it's ever been, and my gooseberries are absolutely amazing. So what I've decided to do this year, this is a work in progress, is to make myself a fruit cage to keep the birds off, because I've managed to avoid the frost. They don't have any gooseberry sawfly as of yet, so the only other thing that can worry them is that the blackbird's eating them all. So hopefully, if I get this, I've ordered some netting. God, there's a big swarm of flies. I don't know whether you can see it. Anyway, like I said, I've ordered some netting. It didn't cost much, only about a tenner to cover all that. So I'll be able to cover that, keep the birds out, and the job should be a good one. So yeah, astroturf world. Don't think it looks too bad. No, I can always have a game of pitch and putt, can't I? And also one of my next missions is, because I've got this rose growing, I've bought an arch. That was only a tenner as well, a metal arch. I'm going to train it over that, and I'm going to plant another rambling rose there and try and train it all over the polytunnel frame, because it's not doing anything now, this polytunnel frame, so I might as well try and obscure it somewhat. So anyway, right, let's go into polytunnel and get these beans planted. Oh, this is warm. It's something I miss. Right, we'll get on and get these beans in now. Alright then folks, time to get the old beans in. These are the ones I've always grown in the polytunnel. These are cobra. And you might think, well, that's not a lot, 6 beans, but believe me, they're so prolific, it's more than enough. Well, the first time I ever planted them, I planted about 20, and I'm not kidding you, you must be getting, it was getting about 2 or 3 pounds every day at the height of the season. So these 6 is more than enough for these, and they should crop well into sort of September time. Pretty idiot proof really. Don't seem to have any pests at all. Well, I've never suffered from any pests with them. And because they're in a polytunnel, they don't have to shoot on, because outside it might be a little bit windy for them in some areas, especially up here where it is really windy. That's why I've grown them in the polytunnel. But it couldn't be easier. They look after themselves. They'll start twining around the canes in a few weeks. And then what I like to do, as you might have seen before, is when they get to the top of the canes, I take some strings, tie some strings to the top of the canes and tie them to the ridge of my polytunnel, and then you can just train them above your head like a grapevine then. So they keep growing along, across rather than upwards. And the beauty with that is, the beans then hang down like bunches of grapes, so you can pick them a lot easier. And they are absolutely phenomenal really, cobra beans, really fleshy. They actually do freeze very well as well, believe it or not, for a bean. They don't go mushy. So I can't recommend them highly enough. Only 2 more to go. Give them a quick watering in and that should be it. So this is the first thing I've grown in my polytunnel for over 2 years. I don't know what else I'm going to be growing in. I might grow a courgette in a pot, or a cucumber. I might put a cucumber in the back of this. See how we get on. I'm trying to reach over. Forget the trowel. Use your hands. So yeah, they're starting to warm up as well, thankfully. So they should really fly along now. So that's that. Couldn't be easier. They only sowed these about a week ago, I think. 2 weeks ago. And they're so fast to germinate, beans, so you're never too late. So I'll just give them a good old soaking in. And that should be about it. So I'll just give you a look at the other stuff around the plot after this. Like I said, things haven't grown much because it's been so cold. Never known it's cold. It's not been cold at night, but during the day it's just never got above about 10 degrees. Right, as you can see, I like to give them a good watering. So we'll just have a quick look round now, and then that'll be about it. Right then, we'll have a look round. These are my poppies. They've not come out yet, my giant oriental poppies. That's what I've planted in the new bed as well. I don't ever remember sowing these bluebells, so don't know where they've come from. So yeah, they're all out now, quite early this year. So we'll have a look at the main bit. Like I said, stuff's not really shot on. Mind you, I probably don't notice it because I'm up here every night, so looking healthy enough. All the garlic and onions and things like that. Onions have put a bit of leaf on actually, come to mention it, because we've had quite a lot of rain. So this sunshine should bring them on. These are the other shallots that are planted out at normal spacings, foot apart and 6 inches. So we'll see how they compare to the ones that I've just planted that are really close. The peas have grown a little bit. Looking a bit like they've flopped over. I might need to tie them up a bit close to the mesh, try and get them to cling onto it. Yeah, they need shoving up towards that so they can sort of latch onto it like that. So something else to do. Anyway, these are the carrots, the ones that haven't been attacked by the slugs. That's the one that got taken by the slugs, so I've had to, I'll try and get out of the way. So I've had to re-sow them. Doesn't matter, it just means I'll have a box that's later than the others. They're just about all okay, as are those, and those in the tubs, and those. So they'll be ready to thin out now. I like to thin them out when they've got a couple of decent seed leaves and then they're just starting to put the first true leaves on. So I'll just have a quick look in a bit in front of the polytunnel. So the lettuces, I think I planted those last week. They haven't grown much, have they? I've had one casualty with the wind. Bit of wind drop there. So that's ceased to be. I've still got a few at home, so I can replace that one. Spuds seem to have come on a bit from last week. Still not great, but they're all up. Even the sarpos are now all up, so that's good. And the dwarf peas are about a foot tall now. So yeah, all looking good. This is where I had the barrels of sand for my long carrots, which I've emptied out because I put them over there now. I was sick of looking at them. So I've made this into another carrot box, which I can core out and stuff like that. And then I'm going to grow another climbing rose in this bit, up my polytunnel frame, and then it should hopefully merge with this evil looking wild rose I've got with unbelievable thorns on it. I think it's a dog rose. Lovely little delicate white flowers. It's totally self-seeded, but as you can see it's sort of arching naturally. So I've got an arch to come. Well, I'm going to put it under there and then train it round it, so it should make it look a little bit better. Ow! As I've just got stuck on it already. Anyway, that's about it, folks. AstroTurf world. Looking pretty cool, I think, now. Looking better than it did anyway. So anyway, folks, that's about it. I'll see you later.